Hi, I'm Mr. Pink, otherwise known as Modern Synthesist, and in case you missed it, Chapter Master Valrak posted a video today about 40k rumors, new Tyranids, and Terminators and other shit, but new Tyranids, that's exciting. Let's see what the big deal is. Y'all ready for this?
I've provided some new information regarding new models coming for the Tyranid range. Now, hopefully I'm reading this right. So there apparently is going to be a new Biovore. I'll try and put it in the background somewhere on the screen here right now. I actually did look at it before. It looks like a very, very old model, so it does make sense. And apparently a new Pyrovore kit as well. Again, image somewhere up in the background. When I was looking at those models, I think one of them is actually you can't buy it anymore on the website. So that kind of is looking to be another kit, which is going to be getting an update, is the Lictor. Now, I'm sure someone's going to find this, that they've done some rumor images that kind of point to a new Lictor.
Seriously, that's it. Biovore, Pyrovore, Lictor. I don't know that that's so much rumor as anyone who's familiar with the Tyranid line and the fact that those three models are like the oldest models in the line. Well, I don't know about the oldest models in the line, but they are certainly the last Finecast models if you don't count Red Terror and all that stuff. Like actual like normal codex entries, not special characters that are still Finecast. So yeah, like good news if they're getting updated. But I don't see that as like huge news just because anyone who collects Tyranids would anticipate that the Biovore, the Pyrovore, and the Lictor would be revised. In fact, these are things that like Tyranid folks have been talking about for a long time. It's like, what do you think is going to get revised in the new edition? Like people dream about stuff like a Carnifex or something like that, but people are like, well, they got to do the Biovore, they got to do the Pyrovore. Those things are ancient, and might as well do the Lictor because, like I said, they're all Finecast. So yeah, they could definitely benefit from plastic treatment, and that's cool if that's happening. Didn't really feel like a big, huge explosive reveal. He also talks in this video, like go check out the video. He also talks about stuff that we've talked about on the channel before, but you might have missed, is that in 10th edition, Tyranids are going to be in the main box set with Space Marines, and that they are going to be like the big bad, kind of like Necrons were, and that they're going to get a release, a refresh like the Necrons did. Again, that's not new news. We've talked about that on this channel before. Great to keep hearing that Tyranids should be in the main box with Space Marines. He also mentions in this video that because it's rumored that there are going to be new Terminators in that box with the Tyranids, he's expecting there's going to be new Gene Sealers in that box with the Tyranids because, you know, Gene Sealers and Terminators go together like cheese and chips. I don't friggin'. Yeah, and that would be cool because, like I've mentioned 1,000 times in 1,000 places, Games Workshop has had new Gene Sealer sculpts since 2016. If you go and look up the Deathwatch Overkill box set, which released in like back in 2016, that was the box set that released Gene Stealer cults for the first time. They had the Acolytes in it, the Neophytes in it, and Aberrants. I think they had the Patriarch in it, the Magus, and the Primus, which was a new character. In that box, they had new Gene Stealers. And I tell people this, and they're like, what are you talking about, new Gene Stealers? And in case you missed it, these are the gorgeous Gene Stealers that were in that box. They were really nice. They were like a good blend of the modern designs for Gene Stealers, kind of melded with the classic second edition, like those old ones that used to come in blue plastic, the ones that came in Space Hulk back in the day. They were phenomenal models. And these are the Gene Stealers that released in that box, the Deathwatch Overkill box. There's two different sculpts for them, slightly altered. Yeah, just so many cool parts to it. And like I said, 2016. These models are now 7 years old, almost 7 years old. I guess they're 6, turning 7. So if we don't get these new Gene Stealers in, I don't know about the 10th edition box. I don't know that you can assume just because there's Terminators in it that there's going to be Gene Stealers as well, unless it's some kind of like Space Hulk thing, because they would go together. That would be a cool Kill Team release while they're still doing like the boarding actions. If they did a 10th edition release with the Terminators, and then they're like, surprise, here's a Space Hulk box for Kill Team. It would be great to have these Gene Stealers in it, because Gene Stealers that we get in our Gene Stealer boxes now are old. They're from 2003 or 2004. They released in the Battle from a Crag box, which was the starter set for 4th edition of 40k. Yeah, so those are they're getting a little long in the teeth. I like that they have big, long, lanky arms, but I don't love those models very much otherwise, and these ones would be such a nice breath of fresh air. So I hope that Valrak's right and that the new edition of 40k comes with Gene Stealers, whether they're in the box or they're separately. I would love to see new versions of these. Please, let's get like enough tentacled heads to put on all of them. Games Workshop has been really good lately with giving enough heads to go around to have all the different versions. Like I think the Cadian Sprue, you can pretty much field all your Cadians without helmets or with helmets. There's some with like masks and stuff. So yeah, let's get some tentacle heads, some Umagarl Gene Sealer feeder tendril heads on all the Gene Stealers, not just one per box. That's trash. Let's get them on all. But yeah, previous Tyranid rumors, we talked about this literally a year ago. I think it was January, February of last year. I think it was Valrak who reported that in 10th edition of 40k, it's going to be Tyranids and Space Marines in the box. I think at that point they thought it was going to be Blood Angels, but I think at that point that was when they said the macro effects, which apparently was going to be a bigger Carnifex that could be built as Old One Eye. And they talked about Hyper Gaunts, which are like Gaunts, but there was a couple of them on a base. So think of like a Ripper Swarm, but Gaunt form. Or Gaunt size. Maybe they're a little smaller than normal Gaunts. Who knows? But yeah, those came out at that time. So hopefully we can add these to those rumors and that hopefully they're all true. That'd be great. But the other thing that Valrak mentioned in his video, again, go watch his video. He also mentioned that June is probably going to be the month, which excites me. If we get 10th edition in June with some tasty Tyranids, and I have to book some days off work to just devour all that deliciousness. Anyway, I've never done a video like this before, but I want to do just like a kind of comment reaction video in case you missed his video. Again, go check it out. I'll link it in the description below, and let me know what you think about Tyranid rumors, what you're expecting, and what you want to see. And talk to you soon. Bye.